Welcome to the Addiction Department of Back to the Fitrah Mentoring Academy, of which I am the training director. This department would not be here without the teachings of Sydney Banks. For me personally, that is absolutely true, and for the department as well. We are an Islamic three principles addiction healing center, of which there are 11 mentors around the world. Each has been certified by Back to the Fitrah in three principles and Islamic teachings, and specifically trained to apply three principles to the field of addiction and mental health. The department will be running its second annual addiction conference in June 23rd, of which the first conference attracted 288 registrations. And we have also won a runner-up achievement award from a large Australian women's organization for the results we have already achieved.
Hi, I'm Kathryn Jones, the CEO and founder of the Back to the Fitrah Mentoring Academy. All of our beautiful addiction mentors have been through our certification process, which wouldn't be what it is without the books of Sydney Banks. We used the Enlightened Gardener earlier on in the certification for students of our certification program to get a deeper understanding of their psychology, of our human experience. And we use the book Second Chance later on in the certification, where we study Jonathan in the book as how he teaches Richard and how he handles Richard's questions. And so we use that to model how we might do that with our clients. So Sydney Banks has been a very important part of our certification process at Back to the Fitrah.
I'm from Pakistan. My life was like as I'm living in a cage, in a jail, without any hope. Once I was on the benzos as well for many years. It was like my life is end and medicine is controlling me. And then that insight came into my mind, and that was like, no, I'm putting my trust on Allah and I'm just leaving all that. And that was the day I would call it as a thought that changed my whole life. And Alhamdulillah, I'm grateful for that I'm just living without any kind of a medications for many, many years.
So I'm Romy. I'm a South American living in Australia for about 23 years now. How did my life used to look before? So I used to be very confused, like I said at the beginning, not know what to do. I used to think, oh, I'm not assertive enough. I used to have all this thinking that used to be so heavy for me to carry everywhere. And yeah, it was through insights that I actually let go of all that. And yeah, I was able to, now I can have a life where I'm calm, I'm in peace, and my relationships are thriving, alhamdulillah.
My name is Yai, and I'm from Senegal, living in the US. One of my first and most transformative insights from the three principles was knowing that I didn't need anything or anyone outside of me to be happy, to be complete, to be whole, to be wise. For a long time, I was in the personal development world, just searching all of these things and trying to become the person that I wanted to become, when in reality, it was always within me. It was my birth-given innate state. So I'm really grateful for this understanding because it has allowed me to know myself and be myself. Thank you.
I'm Bilkisu from Nigeria. Learning the inside out paradigm has been a game changer. I used to live on autopilot. I used to think I'm religious. I connect with Allah very well. But it is after the understanding that I even realized how I could connect with Allah, how I could think about Allah, and understanding that everything comes from my thinking just made me to be able to take responsibility. And that's just so empowering and freeing, in that I know nobody is responsible for how I feel. Of course, they can influence it, but ultimately, it's my thought, is the reality I create for myself with my thoughts. I used to experience very intense anger. So the first time Kathryn said we can learn calm anger, I was surprised. How can we be calm and angry at the same time? But now I've realized all that, and it just makes me feel so powerful, and alhamdulillah, it's a blessing.
Hi everyone, I'm Sabah from India, living in Australia now. I had a deep insight into separate realities early this year, where I was able to see my husband as a resourceful and a whole human being. That's when I was able to let go of my self-righteousness and step back and not get into his way of being that beautiful human being, which actually helped him to see who he was. And a few months into that insight, he had an opportunity to sign up for being voluntarily coached by Harry and the addiction department, where he actually found himself. He actually was able to see what a beautiful human being he was. And that led to changes for our entire family. It shifted our spousal relationship. It shifted the way he showed up as a father in the family. And all of that helped us immensely.
I'm Asma'u from Nigeria, living in Nigeria. Life has been nothing short of, it just has been so beautiful after this understanding. The understanding of the three P's has given me so much power. I feel I am able to now be who I am, who I want to be. Regards to practice, we need to be in the present moment when I'm seeing a patient. And that has helped me to show up more for others and for myself. By being in the moment and just trusting the process, Allah just puts me in my wisdom. That has been so obvious for me with one of the addiction clients here in the academy. I just watched how he was just brought into just having the good feelings, and everything just became sorted. It looked like it was going to be so difficult, but the truth is, just like Sid said, the past is dead. Let the past be dead and let the dead rest in peace. I saw that. During the mentoring with Harry, we didn't go back to the client's past. We didn't have to discuss all that he was going through with the addiction. It was so beautiful how he was just coming out of it. And to see that now he's free of the addiction, that's really remarkable. And all that needed to be done was just bring him back to his wisdom, to a higher level of consciousness. He was just brought back to have these good feelings, and that was it. So this is really, really beautiful.
Hi, I'm Aisha from Nigeria. Privileged to work with a client whose husband was addicted to cocaine. And when she came to us here, initially, like before 3P, I would have thought that we were here to help her, to mentor her, bring her husband to our department for healing. But what I saw in the journey was that all we needed to do was be there for her, be present as she discovers herself as well. And through the journey, she discovered her strength, and she stopped feeling so helpless, and her strength began to shine. Eventually, her wisdom shone through, and she was able to bring her husband, who is seeking the help, to find his own level of consciousness as well. So it was truly amazing, discovering without doing.
Hi everyone, I'm the manager of the addiction department as well as the inner circle here at Back to the Fitrah. And the way I see this understanding helping those with addiction in any area of our life is just seeing past the label, seeing past the symptom that they've got, and to see who they really are. When we see that beyond, an addiction or beyond a mental health problem, there lays a beautiful person. And when we can see that person with compassion and see them for a human being, we look past that. And there's been a few examples just here right now that has highlighted that we don't focus on the addiction, but rather than the person. And that at any time that person can go from a space of low level thinking to a high level thinking. And I think that's really important that we show up in that way. We don't see a person as having an addiction problem per se, but that they're just having an imbalance in their thinking. And what that naturally does is helps them to rise above that and come back to, their Fitrah, their innate self, and see the beautiful qualities that they have that really fits in alignment with our religion beautifully. Yeah.
I'm Pamela. I'm in Australia. I'm part of the executive team here at Back to the Fitrah. This understanding and what it's doing for not only the addiction department, but of course the entire Muslim community, is that it's bringing us back to those Islamic traditions where we've moved into an area where we've forgotten about, the spiritual side, and this brings it back, which is really great. And so just what Daniela was saying, when we're sort of talking from a place or bringing a person to a place where of higher intelligence or a higher spiritual intelligence, we tend to look at things more positively, and these significant events sort of unfold, fueling this sort of positive spiritual states as, inspiration, optimism, gratitude. Whereas when we're meeting someone in a lower level of spiritual intelligence, we can often look at these signs that I was sort of explaining before, that of being negative, and we'll put negative connotations to it. They have a negative meaning, and that we're being punished, and things like that. Where this not only gives us the opportunity to be in a higher sort of space and feeling, but we can draw that out of somebody else too. That alone is a really key component to healing in any aspect.
That's right. The spiritual psychological influence component is definitely a major aspect of the future. Now, 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
Thank you, Sid.
Thank you, Sid.